So when I first discovered Goldmorr, we were using a product solution that was a biocide, where we had to go into attics to perform attic remediations that we'd have to scrub by hand. You would never get rid of the visible staining on those wood members. And then we would come behind it with an antimicrobial treatment. And in order to show that we were there, because the visible staining was still present, we would have to spray a mold-resistant sealant, almost like a paint, if you will. And then when I discovered Goldmorr, my cousin had actually gone through training, and he tried to encourage me to go to the class with him. It was in Las Vegas at the time. And so I just didn't have the time, and I tried so many different product solutions. I'm like, nope, there's nothing out there. There's no silver bullet. It's not going to work. A few months later, he got done with the training, and he called me, and he says, you know what? There's something to this. You might want to check it out. So I said, all right, you got my interest. Why don't I see when the next training offering is available? I had a job that was lined up in advance, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me to see how this really works. My guys were out in the trailer, and they were getting all prepared for the day. And I went down the hallway into where the access hole was in order to enter the attic space. So I popped open the lid, and when I did that, I had a small little spray bottle of the GM 6000. That's the stain remover that we used. All I did was I took that little spray bottle, and it was plywood sheeting that was all black and moldy, and I literally just sprayed a little bit, and immediately it dissolved before my eyes. I'd never seen anything like that before. And so immediately I got down off the ladder and I yelled at my guys, and I'm like, come here, check this out, guys. And so they went in there and I sprayed a little bit more. They looked at that and they all looked at each other like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And that was my first experience with it. And I did some air sampling before and after. And so it identified mold species available on the surface, and then after treatment, no mold detection. It was over 100,000 mold spores that were present in a dirty environment, non-livable space in an attic. Got it down to 1,000 spores in the attic space. So that was my first experience. There was also a little small area in a closet that had some visible staining and mold that was growing along the base of the wall. And I took a little bit on a sponge, I wiped it clean, didn't strip the paint, made it look like brand new. You would have never known that the mold was ever there. So that was my very first experience, and it's been a game changer for me and my small business since then. It's been an interesting ride because we'll go to trade shows. We will have video presentations going on in the background, and new customers that come along, they see these videos and they're like, wait a second, you're telling me that you don't have to HEPA vacuum or you don't have to scrub? And it still amazes me when I find some of these customers that are in the remediation industry that are still wire brushing the wood members in order to try to get the stain out. So it's either wire brush, you're sanding it, or soda blasting it, or ice blasting. Very expensive and laborious methods. It's always encouraging for me when I have new customers that use it for the very, very first time. I just got a text message just the other day, late at night on a weekend, and they're like, tell me this is real. It's the best money that they've made ever on a job. They did their very first mold job in less than 5 hours. So to see that level of excitement from new customers is golden for me to be able to be a part of that. It's very exciting. In some cases, just had one yesterday with one of our larger customers throughout the country, and they bid a job at $36,000. It was a big warehouse. They did some remediation on it. They tripled their money on that job alone. And so they're excited. They're seeing the benefits and they're taking advantage of it. They're embracing it and they're moving forward with it and growing with the Goldmorr system. But to really promote a non-invasive remediation service.